radio, glowing magic transistor radio, glowing magic transistor.
Hello, YouTube and YouTubettes. Welcome to another album review. Today, by request, I'm going to do Jove's Cove by Wagon. And this was requested to me by Wagon on YouTube, one of my other album reviews that I did. So this is exciting. I really put no emphasis on sales or how popular anybody is. To me, it's all about the art, and this definitely fits into what I'm trying to do on this channel. So I couldn't find much information about them online, but I did see something that said they're from Radcliffe, Australia, which I saw on the Bandcamp website. So I assume that's correct. Now, at first I was confused because one of the tracks, there's spoken word and he sounds American. But then on the bonus tracks, he's talking about the songs and he sounds Australian. So I assume that's correct. But I found the music on bandclamp.com, so I would encourage you to go there and download them and support them. I downloaded everything, including the bonus tracks, which is great. I would encourage you to do that. But I'm just going to review the 4 regular songs that are on the official album, which means this is going to be a pretty short review. But the songs themselves are pretty long. I think it'll be enjoyable. The album cover is a black and white picture of the ocean. There's no lettering. Very simple. Very nice picture and solid for a cover. And I give the cover an 8 out of 10. Now on to the songs.
Kate waves through the hole. Tired body sagging soul. Faces droop in swirls of blue.
Track number 1 is called Jove's Cove, Part the First. And this has a very medieval folk sound to it. That's pretty. It's pretty nice. And then this haunting chant comes in. That I hope this isn't. I don't know what the intention is at all. I'm just telling you what imagery it brings to my mind. But I think of these, like the title is Cove. And I think of like some witch's coven, and I think of these people in black robes with black hoods over them doing these chants. And I haven't studied the lyrics close enough to know, but that's just what I think. But then in the melody, it kind of sounds like it's singing to a king, so it sounds very medieval imagery. But then in the second half, you get these jazzy kind of trumpets going on so it's kind of an interesting mix of, jazz and medieval folk music and witches chants. I don't know if that's really, I'm just making that up. But anyway, this song is very artistic. I gave it a 10 artistically and strong, a 9 production-wise. It does less on the catchiness side, and so that brings the score down a bit. But it's one I'd have to be really in the mood for. But I think it's kind of the music that I have to kind of lay down and just listen to it, or it's not something you can listen to in the background. I don't know, but it's very kind of meditative kind of music. It's not like dance music or even something you can listen to while you're cleaning the house. So that's kind of my thoughts of it. So I give this song an 8.0. Track number 2 is called Jove's Cove, Part the Second. And there's so much going on here. This one's over 24 minutes long. And honestly, it kind of starts out with a bit more instrumentation. I think it's like a dulcimer and some percussion stuff going on. Really cool. And then later on in the song, you get something like either the harp, or I don't know if that's a keyboard that sounds like a harp, or there's something up high. But I think it's a harp, or at least a keyboard that's trying to sound like, or maybe it's the dulcimer playing high notes. I don't know. And then you have this section that kind of out of nowhere, he starts jamming rhythm guitar and singing this high melody that's really interesting. And then later, you got this static-y stuff going on, really high level, what's the word, out, like, what do you call that when you, I'm not going to edit this because this song's so long anyway, so I'm just kind of riffing, but what do you call that, like on the guitar when you have it really distorted sounding? I can't remember the word for it. It starts with an O, I think. Anyway, he does that with the vocal, like everything just kind of blasts out all of a sudden near the end of the song. But a lot of stuff going on here. I gave it another one with a 10 artistically. I gave it even a little higher on catchiness because it's got a few moments that are kind of jammy, if that makes sense. And so this song does really well, and I give it an 8.4. Oh, it was Overdrive I was thinking of on the speakers, but I don't know if that's what he used, but that's what I thought of. So, yeah. Track number 3 is called Jove's Cove, Part the Third. And this has a very beautiful, I don't know if ambient is the right word, but it kind of just flows with the guitar and different sounds. Just, just kind of goes. And then it gets a little repetitive in the middle, a little bit too much. But then it changes again, and so there's some nice things about this song. I think it's the prettiest one so far. So it just, but other than that repetitive section in the middle, it's fine. It's really good, and so I'm gonna give this one a dream state 0.2. No, not really. Yeah, it kind of has a dream state feel to it. I'll give this one an 8.2. If I can find the stop button.
They say you went to Jupiter to get more Jupiter.
Track number 4 is the title track called Jove's Cove. This is perhaps the catchiest number on the album, which isn't saying a whole lot, but yeah, definitely. And it's short enough to where this is going to be the one on my favorites list on iTunes, on my iTunes favorites list that I have. And there's nothing more stupider than going to Jupiter, I guess, is the message of this song. Very deep lyrics. And yeah, so it just kind of, it riffs along. along in the distance. And
He said he went searching
there's some jamming,
for a secret.
jazz trumpets going on in here. Oh, and some harmonica as well, I think.
Outer space.
Yeah, so a little different than the rest, and I give this one an 8.2. The album flow is a 10 out of 10. This is definitely more artistic and kind of meditative kind of music as opposed to disco dance kind of music. Not quite the stereotype for Australia, which would be the Bee Gees. But which I like the Bee Gees. I love that song that goes "Your Holiday" or whatever. But sorry, I hate it when people, I'm from Texas and people think everybody in Texas listens to country music. So I'm going to assume that not everybody in Australia listens to the Bee Gees or who is it? Elvis Costello. I think he's from Australia. So, but yeah. Actually, I don't know of much music like this, like Jove's Cove at all. So, yeah, 8.2 for this one. I already said that. I'm on the flow now, aren't I? But I think this music is perfect to listen to while reading the Far Side cartoons. So now I will pull out my handy dandy computer and calculate my formula. And this album gets an 8.47 out of 10. Thank you and have a wonderful day.